What is up, Claire Bryant? I'm so excited to have you on the podcast today.
Thanks for having me. This is super fun.
Yeah, well, I know you've had a lot going on recently because we were texting back and forth, and you're like, "Oh, I'm gonna be here, and then I'm gonna be here." I'm like, "This girl, I want to know all the things that she's doing." So I'd love to get into all things long jump and your college days, and now your pro career. But first, the question I ask all the guests on the podcast is, "What are you all about right now? Something you're super into? It could be a book, a hobby, a song, something you're cooking, something deeper." Some people are like, "I'm all about Jesus," which I'm sure everybody's on this podcast is all about. But what are you all about right now?
Ooh, what am I all about? I just moved into a new place, so maybe like setting up my room. I know I feel like I need to say Jesus, but we'll get to that.
Yes.
But probably just setting up my room and like trying to find different art pieces and stuff that I will enjoy and want in my room and look at every day. So maybe that.
That's a very important thing. You got to
Yeah.
get that all settled. That's
Yeah.
exciting. How was the moving process?
It was so easy. One of my roommates, she's actually on the volleyball team at Florida, has like a Ford F-250. So
Great.
it has like a train horn on it. So yeah, it took like two moves with this humongous truck. So very easy, easy breezy.
Good. Well, that's exciting. I definitely have been multiple times in my life, probably just throughout decorating my college dorm differently every year, being like, oh, maybe interior decorating is something that I can go into, but it's actually a lot harder than it looks. You got to piece it all together.
And expensive. I'm like,
Yes.
dang, like, oh my gosh. Um my friends make fun of me because like I'll like not like dumpster dive, but I'm like, have y'all been to the junkyard over on the other side of town? They're like, no, no one's done that. And I'm like, right, okay, I found this there.
Yeah. We're
Yeah.
like, I'm gonna find some really unique and cool pieces. So what have you found from the junkyard? What's like your most pride? Something you're taking the most pride in.
Oh, okay, actually, this is something I do enjoy. Okay,
Okay.
like I got this filing cabinet. Sorry, the lighting's gonna be
Okay.
okay. This filing cabinet, it has like my socks and spandex and stuff in it. But it's like green, it's like forest green and then like brass handles and I
Okay.
really like it.
Hey, that works. It does the same exact thing as a real dresser, right?
Right. I'm like, it works, it works.
Oh, that's good. Well, Claire, that's amazing. Hey, you could start your own little like kind of it's like thrifting, but not thrifting.
I'll
Like
start flipping literal trash. Yeah.
yes. Oh, I love it. Well, I'm sure your room's gonna come out just perfect and look like a professional interior decorator
We'll
came in
see.
and did it. I love that. Well, let's talk long jump and all those things because I know that's something you're probably spending a little bit more of your time doing. And you recently represented the U.S. for the first time in the World Athletics Indoor Championship, and it was in China, which is so cool. And you won gold. Okay. So, first of all, congratulations. It's so exciting. How was that experience?
Oh my gosh, it was awesome. Like truly, even yeah, on the runway, like for people that don't know, you get six jumps. And every single time I was about to go, I was just like, this is awesome. Like, thanks God. This is just so cool. But since it's China and since it's a world like the world championship, so it is a big meet, you go over a lot earlier. And yeah, China was really different. I've never even been to Europe. So I like skipped it and I'd never been on a flight over like maybe max 5 hours. And then I had to take like a 15-hour flight. I was like, ooh. But
Wild. Yeah.
but it was so cool over there, especially because um, there was this one huge hotel where they housed every single nation. So not just Team USA, but um, Australia, like Jamaica, I don't know, Italy, like every single nation that was there was in this one hotel. So it was really cool to be able to interact with so many different nations and um, just different people. And
Yeah.
it's fun to see really high level athletes like eating noodles. You know, it's like they're
Yeah.
not just like really in the blocks locked in. It's like, no, we gotta like I'm like, you tried the muffins over there, you
Yeah.
know? Um, so it was like an incredible experience. And what I went into thinking, like my mindset going into it was, I'm just here to experience a blessing, you know? I
Mm.
That's what I want to do. Like, Lord, you got me here, and I'm just going to experience a blessing. And like he showed out, honestly. Like every single, sure, the gold, like that's a big blessing in a lot of ways. But even like I got my own room, and like I'm a
The little
rookie.
things, come on.
I'm a rookie. This is my first senior USA team. Like I am not the person to get my own room. That's really reserved for like Olympic medalists and world champions. And then like I accidentally got my own room. I was like, God, I'll take it. Like, thank you. So in every way, I feel like there was like an outpouring of blessings, and it was just
Wow.
like so fun to experience.
That you just like that's my new favorite quote, I think ever. Like I've heard a lot of awesome quotes just throughout my life and throughout listening to people share their stories, but I think experiencing a blessing is so cool. And what an awesome way for you to walk into probably what was like a really nerve-wracking tournament and competition for you, right? Like this is a huge deal, and for you to just have that like gratefulness about you is so special. So that's going to be my new like anytime I have an opportunity, like I'm gonna use it, and I'm gonna kind of frame it as like I'm gonna experience a blessing. I just love that, and I love the getting your own room. So how did that unfold? Was that like a random thing? How did that go down?
Like the logistics of it was
Yeah.
my friend Grace Stark, who is a professional hurdler. We You can request roommates, so we requested each other, and she ended up staying at a different hotel, oddly, like with her agency, and I guess it just never really got like my room never got filled with another person. So I actually had like the corner like suite. So two of my walls were just full floor to ceiling windows. Like my room was huge. And you know what was cool
Wow.
about it was like, I come into this meet being like, I'm here to experience a blessing, and I'm seeing that kind of come to fruition. Like everything was lining up. It was just fun. It was perfect. I was meeting so many Christian people. And then um after the meet, I was like, man, I want to celebrate, but maybe not how other people are celebrating. And I've been given this blessing of this room. Like, how can it be used even more so? And so, after the meet, we got a bunch of Christian athletes or people that have faith to come and meet in my room, and we just like had basically it was like a sleepover vibe. So, and it was cool because there was like maybe like 8 girls that came, and there was like 3 gold medalists in the room. I was like, this is a crazy
Wow.
ratio. But then we also had a girl that like fell and didn't make the final, and like it didn't matter. And like all of us were just praising Jesus, having fun, laughing. And I was just like, this is like I'm here to experience a blessing, but I also want to pass on this blessing. So I think it's gonna sound small, like you're like, what about the gold medal? I'm like, what about the room? So I really enjoyed seeing God's hand in that.
Mm. What a fun way to just like also share in that experience too with the other
Yeah.
athletes there. Like you were saying, just cool seeing other people like getting food too, but then having that ability. And I just love how you use like kind of a resource like your baller room and you're like, let me bless other people with this and like let's use this and share with other people. I just think that shows your heart so well. And man, I just what a fun like competition for you. You really like lived it up. But I did see some stats about like before you even went out to jump. And I'm just going to read them, okay?
Yeah, yeah.
Because for people listening, you need to know this. So before the competition, you had a 4.7 chance of winning
Right.
and a 21% chance just to medal. And then you go out there and you win the thing. Like, come on. So what did your preparation look like for this competition?
Um, I know those stats. I saw them after. I was like, well, dang, y'all. Like,
Yeah.
but
I bet you had no idea, right, of the stats
no,
beforehand? Yeah.
yeah. I was like, oh, okay. I think my preparation was like, mm, not everyone gets this opportunity to wear Team USA to come to this meet. Like you have to qualify to get here. You have to be healthy to get here. Your visa had to come in time to get here. So there was a lot of things that I have the opportunity that other people don't. So I'm going to like maximize it. And I just kind of was thinking, um, if I'm here, like if you are at a meet, like you can win. if you're in the competition, you can win. So I wasn't focused on winning. I was just like, I'm here to experience a blessing. And that means like fully enjoying the meet and not being doubtful or fearful or hesitant. It's like, I'm in China. Like, I am gonna have a blast. Like, truly on the at the competition, I was just like, I'm not gonna have any like inhibitions about this. It's just such a waste. It's like a waste
Mhm.
of time to not enjoy yourself at a meet.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's kind of like how I prepared, was really just being grateful and like seeing the gratitude behind or like using gratitude to fuel like my training and stuff. Yeah.
And it worked, right?
No,
So
it
I
did.
bet you're like, oh, maybe I should just come in all the time like that.
You're right.
Well, there was a moment where you held up a piece of paper and it was in Chinese. Was it in Chinese?
Yeah,
And it said Jesus. And
right.
I know there was a little bit like of a story, kind of a crazy happening that went with this. So can you explain just what happened with this, picture of these words that said Jesus in Chinese and what went down with that?
I think Jesus uses everything, even not my knowledge or my lack of knowledge for rules. So I don't know. This meet was so inspiring. I met so many cool athletes that were really on fire for Jesus, and I was like, how do I bring this into the competition? And so I had someone write in like Chinese calligraphy or Mandarin, like the word like Jesu, like Jesus. And I was like, oh, I'll hold this up when my name is announced, like when they're announcing each competitor. And I was really nervous, but I was like, whatever, it's like for Jesus, we'll just see what happens. And so I hold it up, and then as they say, Claire Bryant, I like hold it up, wave, done. I don't really think about it again. I'm like, all right, time to compete, like I need to focus. And I am gonna jump in like two people. So I'm in line to jump. And a official comes up and says, like, hey, what was on that piece of paper? I was like, oh, it said Jesus. He was like, well, that is not allowed. He was like, that is not allowed. World athletics events, world championships don't allow signs or like religious symbols to be shown during the competition. Oh, okay. And I was like, oh, I'm really sorry. I go, well, I'm sorry. Well, I'm not sorry, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
And he goes, you could be disqualified for that. I was like, whoa, I didn't know that.
You're like, I really didn't mean it now.
I know. I was like, okay, well, keep me updated. I wasn't aware of that. I wasn't trying to cause any issues, but yeah, let me know. And I was just kind of like, again, I was having such a good time. I really just was like, God, can you kind of like take care of this? I did that for you. Like, just, like, let me file that away and like you kind of deal
Let
with
me
it.
put in my file cabinet back in my house.
Right. Like,
Yeah.
so I jump, and that is like a little bit looming over me, but I was so like truly filled with joy. I was like, I'm not even gonna focus on it. But I was like, dang, am I like jumping far and it doesn't count? Because I'm gonna get DQ'd.
Like right before you're about to go, too. Like that's crazy.
During the first half of the competition, I was like probably getting DQ'd.
Yeah.
For the first jump, I'm trying to remember. My coach would laugh if he saw this. Like I'm really bad at remembering my numbers. But I think I jumped like a 670 or something to start, which is good. And I was like, okay, cool. And then the second jump, a different official comes up to me and was like, hey, um, can I have the piece of paper? I was like, absolutely, take it. I didn't mean for this to be a whole thing. And I said, yeah, here you go. I don't want to cause any issues. Like, I'll do whatever y'all need me to do. And he goes, like, okay, we've decided to give you a yellow card. Which if you watch track and field, it's basically like, when someone false starts,
Yes.
or moves in the blocks and they say stand up and they award them a yellow or red card. I didn't even know field eventers could get those. So I feel like I'm breaking barriers. I'm like, I'm somehow getting issues or red card, yellow cards in field events. But so I got a yellow card, and that basically meant if you do something again in that capacity, like you will be DQ'd. Thank you.
Thank goodness. Oh
Thank
my
God. I
gosh,
was like,
right?
dang. So that really like once that kind of smoothed over after about 3 jumps, I was like, well, thank you. And I'm just gonna keep rocking and rolling. But it's funny because I was thinking about it yesterday. Just there's more meets coming up and season keeps unfolding. Um, I was so nervous. Obviously, I don't want to get DQ'd, you know? And afterwards, they said if you do anything that's like in that capacity, like you'll get DQ'd. And so I wasn't sure. Again, this is my first world championships. I don't know when the competition like ends and begins because I knew like it included the podium ceremony. So I was like,
Oh,
does it include
wow.
the interviews after? So I felt kind of bad because not like these interviews, but right after when you're going through the media tunnel. So I didn't really mention God during it because I was like, dang, am I about to get DQ'd? But I've tried to use these moments afterwards, like the podcast or different interviews where I'm like, I'm back in America. Like, it's fine.
Wow, that is just a wild story.
I
And
know.
I think it's even crazy just to hear how it carried over too from the podium. Like you were like, I don't even know if I can share my faith in a certain way. And like, it's not fully probably representative of like that entire country at all in any way, but like it just different in different spaces you
Yeah,
have that same different freedom, and it's I think we don't think about it like ever, like never think about that in my daily walk, you know what I
right.
mean? So that's just a crazy story, and I saw a little bit of it, so I had to get your perspective on it because, man, like we want you to keep proclaiming the Lord and doing your thing like you do, but be careful because we
Right.
definitely want you to rack up the medals. So I just had to ask you about that. But I'd love to know a little bit more on the technical side of long jump. I did long jump in like middle school and I
Mm,
loved it, but I would always like scrape my leg with my what's it called, my spikes, and I would like be bleeding every time I did the long jump because I couldn't like not run and not like cut myself with my cleat or my
mm.
spikes. So can you just walk me through like what a jump looks like for you? What's going through your head? What are you counting? What are your steps? All those things.
It's actually funny because I changed my cues or the things I think about during the run like this fall, and that was a little bit scary. So basically, I'm back there and I'm like in, my kind of ready position, and I'll just tell you all of the cues I think for a jump. I look at my right foot that's in front of me, and I just think low, 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 because I want to push. So I go low left. So like left, one, I'm counting my rights. 1, 2, 3, 4. Breathe. Gotta remember to breathe.
Yep.
1, 2 for 2 more right steps. And then keep going. That's it. And, jump or whatever. I don't think of there's no time to think of things in the air. I mean, maybe like before I jump, I'm like, make sure to extend into the sand. But yeah, it's just low, 4 rights, breathe, 2 rights, and then just see what happens.
And in the air, you're just like free balling it. There's nothing going on.
I mean, I would actually love to hear if other long jumpers can think while in the air. Like, it's just so quick, truly. Like, it really is muscle memory. And I mean, in practice, I try to think, like, hey, like, dorsiflex your feet up and, hold or whatever. But yeah, I mean, at some point, it's too fast to. I think if you're thinking, you're probably thinking too late, you know?
Right.
So.
And when you hit the sand, do you know, or even when you like take off, when you kind of like take that launch step, do you know you're like, oh, this is gonna be a good jump, or is it really until you land and you look where you landed?
And this is my least favorite part of long jump. Like high jump, as like I used to do high jump in college, you know immediately. You either made the bar or you knocked it down. And it's like so much more dramatic. It's like the bar's wiggling and then it settles. Yay! Okay, long jump, I jump and I'm like, man, that felt great. And then I'll try to look and I'm like, okay. And they say some trash number and I'm like, oh, that felt good. So
Yeah, you're like,
um,
you guys got to check that again.
yes, I'm like, wait, are you sure? Um, I actually there's a picture of me like laughing and like clapping the official on the back at World the world championships because I fouled one. And I said, "Are you sure? Like, why couldn't you have blinked?" And he
Oh.
was like, "Ha ha ha." But no,
Hey,
I had no
you never
idea.
know. We're all human. There's room for
Right.
error.
Right. So, I don't really know. My coach has been telling me like you need to stop being surprised when you jump far because at a meet at LSU, I jumped 698, which is like 22:10 and some change in feet, and I was like, "What?" Like I was shocked, and he was like, "Why are you surprised? Like you know the work we put in, like you know." But yeah, I don't know. I don't
Yeah.
know until they flash it.
Hey, like, it's a little more exciting, right? Builds up a little more anticipation
You
and
do have to wait.
uh yeah, that's funny. And just comparing it to high jump too is crazy. But I'd love to know just like kind of your overall vibe on your competition days and when you're about to jump, because I also know you got a really cool hairstyle going, okay? And I would love to ask you about this. When did that start? But what's your vibe with your hairstyle and how would your teammates describe you?
Hmm. Well, if you were on Twitter after the World Championships, people were like, "She looks crazy." And then the announcers during the coverage were like, they're British. They're like, "I don't know if she realize." They're like, "I don't know if she realizes how big of a meet this is. Like, why is she so happy?" Um, but I jump best when I'm a lot more loose. Like I am not a like lock in, quiet, focused person. Um, and some people are, and that's you just have to figure out what works best for you. But for me, I have figured out really just this year, I like to encourage other people, like even competitors. I like to joke around, like I like to have fun. And then I like to be okay, I'm not much of a dancer, but like I like to when there's music playing, usually during the competition, like I don't care what song it is. Like I'll be like having fun. So, um I'd say I compete probably a lot looser than other competitors. Especially cuz I mean, long jump field events are so long. Like it's an maybe you're out there for like an hour and a half including warm-ups. Like I just can't focus for that long. It's
That is
honestly
a
hard
long
to be
time.
it's hard to have such high energy for that long. Like it's weird after I compete, winning a gold medal or PRing, it doesn't matter. I get like really sad afterwards because I think my brain is just tired of being happy.
That's so interesting. Yeah, you're like fried out.
Absolutely. Like yeah, I feel like my brain's like, we can't produce any more dopamine for you. So like take a second. So yeah, I compete very loose, happy. Hopefully like the joy of the Lord is shown or observed through my competition. But yeah.
There's definitely been moments in my life when I'm like maybe at a really fun event or maybe it was something that my team had won and I was smiling so much that like my face hurts from smiling. Like I
Yeah.
definitely have felt that like I'm like I think it's stuck. Like I literally think, but that's
Yes.
like a good problem to have, you know? And I love that you said like I just like have that was so much energy that just took out of me,
Mhm.
right? And that's just I love to know people's vibe because we can watch on TV, we can see social media posts, but you don't actually know until you're there. Like you can kind of guess, but I do love that. So
Yeah.
it's fun. Well, I'd love to know if there's anything that you did growing up in track and field, or maybe it was another sport or something you just did for fun, like a hobby that you feel like has really helped you throughout your now professional long jumping career.
Hmm. That's a good question. Is there anything that really I always like this is so I don't know. I really like enjoyed jumping when I was little. Like I would always be like trying to touch the net of the basketball hoops or I played basketball growing up and like I loved trying to get rebounds over tall people and or like I would do the jump ball. I'm like, how am I doing this? So truly like jumping I always enjoyed even when I was little. Like cracks on the sidewalk. I'm like, can I hit every single one? So I'm like, dang, I'm doing bounds at like 7 years old.
This is 100% it. This is definitely helping you.
Yeah, so I think like my friend and former teammate like Talitha Diggs was like, I want to get back to like Talitha when I was really like little girl Talitha. Why did she like to run? And I was like, huh, like little girl Claire, like why did Claire like to jump? And it was just to like see if I could do it. Truly, like, can I touch that branch that's hanging down? Oh, can I touch the back of the basketball board? Like, can I do that? Oh, can I? Can I not? Oh, now I can because I practiced it. So, I'd say that like the continual like, can I do this? Oh, I can. And then you just keep going and building on that.
That's cool. It's really crazy when you like zoom out and you see how the Lord has kind of like worked your passions and just stuff like you're curious
Hmm.
as a child with into your story, into like what you do. Like I think even now for me, I ran like recently it was Mother's Day and I had sent a video, like a video star. Did you ever do video stars, that like like music video
Like
app?
iMovie and stuff.
Yes,
Yep.
yes. Like, so I was so into making those and like putting different like effects on it and edits and like producing it.
Um,
And like, I thought that was just like a fun thing I did as a kid. You know, like we all make music videos. But like now looking at like what my career is, I'm doing shows and I'm editing stuff and I'm putting
oh,
together, right? It's like crazy how the Lord kind of uses your passions as a child into your story and what you end up doing. I think and it might
no.
not always look that similar, right? But I think in certain ways, he definitely prepares you in ways that you don't even realize when you're a child. So I just thought that was so cool.
I
How
really like
you
that.
like, I definitely would do like the sidewalk thing for sure. I feel like that was something I always did as a
For
kid.
sure. Oh, I
I
love
love that.
that. I'm gonna have to think on that a little more. Like, getting back to our childhood wants and passions and needs. I like that a lot.
Definitely. And I think it's a good perspective too, just as an athlete. Like something I did senior year of college, and we did this as like a team activity. We printed out a photo of like our younger self playing our sport.
Mm.
And I had it on my playbook, and it was the first thing I saw when I opened my playbook every day. And I wrote on it, like, what would she say? And I think other people wrote different things, but I think I wrote, what would she say? Meaning, like, all right, what am I coming into this film meeting with? Like, thinking about myself as an athlete, or what am I stressed about for a game or a practice? And what would like that younger 10-year-old Annabelle lacrosse player say? She'd be like, this is sick. Like, look how cool that is. You get to wear the BC lacrosse jersey. Like,
Right.
can you believe you're here in that sense? And going back to what you said, just about that grateful attitude. So I do think, just to your point, like, looking back on ourselves as younger athletes and this
Mhm.
like younger kids is so helpful.
I love that. I really like that. Dang.
Well, I'd love to know a little bit more about just like your new journey as a long jumper, because it's going to look different than it did in college. So, what does like the pro space for you now look like on a daily basis?
So there's a lot of differences, but there's a lot of similarities. I went to University of Florida and competed for the Gators all 4 years. And now I still train with same coach, same weight coach, and then same facility. But yeah, there's definitely some like key differences. I think I loved the team aspect of college sports, and even though track and field is very individual, like I really enjoyed pouring into other athletes on my team and like the team camaraderie aspect. And I'm like, let's do a game night.
Yeah.
Um, so I think that changes with the pro sphere because it is a lot more individual and it's just you're not a team, you're not traveling as a team. But I feel like I have found, and actually one of my friends that is leaving wrote me a letter and he was like, you are at your best when you're pouring into other people. And I used to think that was, when you think of, oh, I'm pouring into people, it's like I'm losing energy or time or whatever. But I love that he said that. I was like, I am at my best when the Lord is pouring into me. And then it's like the Psalm 23 where it just says my cup overflows. It's like I don't even have to try because I'm so blessed and I'm so
Mm.
um filled with the Lord that it just happens. And so I think I've just had to find and work a little harder. Like, no, I will pour I will pour into you. No,
Yeah.
whoever wants it.
Listen up
Yeah,
here.
right. And I think that's been in the pro sphere. just texting a little bit more like, hey, at this meet, like, let's, in college, I was like, hey guys, team Bible study before the meet. And it was a little easier. But now I'm like DMing people I don't know. And I'm like, hey, want to come do pray before the meet? And I'm like, dang, I don't know this person at all. Or I'm like, wonder if they think I'm sliding into their DMs or
Yeah.
something. Hey, would love to pray together. Right.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, because it's, I mean, like, let's be real, like, that's definitely a thing,
Yeah, I know.
people
I'm like,
use as like a, hey, we're on the same page, what's up?
right. So, there's definitely some intricacies, but I was really inspired by an Australian high jumper who was at the World Championships, named Nicola Ollislagers, and she is like really adamant and faithful to do prayer meetings and kind of like Bible studies at these big meets. And I didn't know those were available. I was like, I didn't know pros. Track is so individual. Like people will stay in their room up until the competition and not talk to anyone. Um, and I was like, dang, this is so exciting that um, there's people that the Lord uses to get his people together. And I'm like, I want to do that. So
Mm.
at these other meets that I've been to, Africa or I don't know, LSU, I'm like, no, like let's get a group together. Big or small, doesn't matter. Like the Lord will use it.
Cool. Well, yeah, everybody be on the lookout for a DM from Claire asking you to join the prayer. I love it. No, that's so awesome though. Like I mean, even like what you said just about the individualism of the sport, like it's hard. Like
Mhm.
there's its own challenges in that. Just like someone who's on a big team might feel like they're the only person, right? Well,
Right.
you know what? There it's also a challenge if you are the only person and you're trying to grab people together, And if
Mhm.
anything, I think it's a little bit of like a kick in the butt in some sense of people who do have those people already on your team, or you play a sport with a ton of people together, like you have them available, like invite them, like I
Yes.
I I do like that, but yeah, just that's an amazing just person to encourage you too, like as other athletes, because it's hard to do things on your own, but I just love that, and it's cool that you have that available to you in the pro space because you were really involved with Athletes in Action, which I know you disciple athletes still,
Mhm.
even though you're not there at Florida. But what is your involvement with that group look like?
I love athletes in action and I guess my boss, Kevin Sides, and then I guess it's so weird to call him like coworker, but Zach Godbold. I yeah, I do athletes in action, which is just like a sports based ministry on campus at UF, and we do like large group stuff and then small group stuff like Bible studies, and then also kind of one on one or two on one discipleship meetings. So, this past spring, I was discipling 8 girls, and then we were doing a Bible study with other people, and I like wanted. mm, I asked the Lord, I was like, why am I here? Like, why am I in Gainesville? And it's not just a jump. Like that's so lame. I don't know, it's so boring. Like God sees us as so much more than an athlete. Like at the end of the day, like we're his child and he cares for us, but then we're also called. Like there's a calling on each Christian's life to pour into other people, to make disciples. So, why am I in Gainesville? To affect other people's faith walks, hopefully in a positive manner. And yeah, so I don't even think I wouldn't be like as successful in track without these girls and also guys. And I wouldn't be as close with Jesus if I wasn't pouring into other people because I don't know, I get so much out of it as well. Like I was telling my small group, I was like, I'm learning right along with y'all. Don't worry. Um, so I'm yeah, super involved um with that. And it even goes back to what my friend said, like, oh, you're at your best when you pour into people. It's like, yeah, it's not just track and encouraging people on a hard workout. It's like spiritually pouring in,
Mm.
and I enjoy it. So, yeah, super involved and gonna continue to be so.
And I'm sure those athletes like love it too. The year there and they
Hopefully.
get to, yeah, they know, I'm sure they do. And it's cool just to hear how it's impacted you as well. Cause like you're the one pouring into them and discipling them, but you're saying, hey, I'm here learning so much too. And I do love how your friend like spoke that over you. Like, hey, this is when you're at your best. Because sometimes, like I know for me, I've even struggled with like, oh, should I be doing all these things? Should I be doing X? Should I be doing Y? Should I be doing Z? Like all at the same time,
Right.
right? And I'm sure like with the rigor of your schedule and training and, what might other people who are pro athletes be doing, like maybe there's other things you should be doing your spending your time with, right? And so I just love that your friend was able to speak that over you because in times when you might have doubt, like that can kind of remind you of like, oh yeah, this is like when I'm at my best.
Yeah, it's like, who are we in Christ? Like, what were we made to do? And at the end of the day, it's to glorify God. And sure, that might be through a celebration post competition, but every day we can glorify Him, like in the big moments and the small. And I think when you like reorient yourself to like be open to that, like, okay, God, like, what do you actually have for me? Like, hey, I'm going to invite you into my schedule. It's not like, hey, I have all these things. Okay, we'll see where I can fit you in. It's like, if this is actually a priority, then it will act like a priority. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah, that's
everyone
good.
everyone that listens to this podcast like understands what it looks like to prioritize your sport. You've done it probably since you're like 12. So, if you think about like it if you think about your faith as like a sport, how would that look different? Like you go to weights not every day, but like you go to practice every day. Like, are you in the word every day? Are we praying every day? And it's not like, dang, I got to check this box, but it's like, hopefully you genuinely enjoy aspects of your sport. Like, there's enjoyment to be felt through your faith every day.
That's awesome. I think that's so great. Just like, yeah, we know what a priority is. Like, you know what it
Right.
is. It's not something you have to like make up and be like, I don't know how to do this faith thing. It's like you do it every day. You're just,
Yeah.
turning the wheels a little bit differently and turning your direction, your focus to the Lord, and your eyes are up. So I just love that. That was an amazing way to explain that. But I would love to just ask about your time at Florida, and if there's a favorite memory that just sticks out to you from your time there. Could be during track and field, not during track and field. Oh, is there anything that just sticks out to you from your time?
Oh, there's a lot that sticks out. I love Florida, but I've loved my time here. And yeah, again, wouldn't be the same person without the people that have poured into me in faith and sport. Like it's been honestly an incredible ride. A favorite memory. Hmm. I'm I don't know why. I'm thinking of all like my growth moments, which really are usually connected to like negative things. But I don't know. Shoot. I've had moments that have been cornerstones like of my faith walk. Like my friend Talitha Diggs. This is not a positive story, but I it's really important to me.
Hey, that's
Um,
a standout moment. That's a standout moment.
listen, yeah, like my friend, yeah, Talitha, we were roommates freshman year and then weren't roommates, but obviously continued to be teammates. And junior year, so flash forward to junior year, we both were really growing in our faith and wanted to be faith leaders and help people, whatever. Um, but we didn't really click like at all, honestly. And it was really more me than her. I was not even I think I was judging her, but I would be like really low key about it, like not really gossip, but just like, dang, Talitha's doing this, like Talitha's doing that, whatever. So I really closed myself off to her growth. And she was growing and it was incredible. And she texted me, and again, like we're both being leaders, so she texted me like, "Hey, can we talk after our large group meeting about some stuff?" And I was like, "Okay, we probably got some logistics to talk about." No, we did not. she, yeah,
Uh-oh.
but she's like the most direct person ever, and I'm so like I can't even convey how thankful I am for her calling me out, which is what I'll say in a second. Because again, like it helped me see like the Lord's love a lot better. So anyway, we get to this conversation and she's like, "Hey, I just feel like you've judged." She said it a lot more eloquently and nicely, but she's like, "I feel like you've been judging me since freshman year and like you've kept me in this freshman like viewpoint and I'm a junior and I'm following the Lord and like you're missing out." And I was like, "Dang, I have been doing that." And first of all, I'm like, I want to go run and hide. This is a horrible conversation. I
Yes,
hate
I've
it.
been there so many times.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh my gosh. And so I'm freaking out. But I mean, she gave me the opportunity to apologize. Everything in culture says, like, forget that girl. Like, Claire
Mm.
sucks. But Talitha was like, I love my sister in Christ and I'm going to treat her as Jesus would, which is, um, like calling out in grace and truth. Like she told me the truth. You've been judging me, but then she gave me grace and said like, "Hey, like let's keep moving forward together." And I've like really never like more clearly seen a picture of Christ than that. Like,
Wow.
"Hey, you hurt me. Like this wasn't okay, but I love you and like I want to give you another chance and like let's continue to grow together." I was like, "Oh my gosh." And like I'm going to call her tonight. So, it's been incredible. Like it really has turned into like my one of my favorite like testimonies of my faith. It's really just Talitha's
Wow.
faith.
Well, thank you for sharing that because I know it's like that's like an intimate relationship moment, right? So I appreciate you sharing that because that just helped me, I think, in my life, like how to be on both sides of that, right? Like in both situations. But I just love that, and it takes a very mature people, right, to hear hard things and to then do something with it, right? Like you could have been like, I'm gonna go hide in a bush, and like, what? I'm not, like you could have been like, I'm not judging you, or I didn't
Yeah.
act that way. You read the situation wrong, right? So I think it's just a testament too to like how you were able to be like, you're right, like let's move forward. And I do love like you're both discipling people, like you're both like loving Jesus, like, and it's not like one side and the other. Right? Like this is a thing between all people and all relationships. And so thank you for sharing that. I think that's so cool. And like you said, oh, these are tougher moments. It might not be seeing out, but like that's where you really see growth, which is really like special. And those are moments of joy in your life. And you also won national championship and have been like runner
Right.
ups. And so like there's also like some also stand up
There's some
moments,
good
but
ones.
I think those are self-explanatory in some ways. But seriously, Claire, thank you so much for sharing that. And I'll ask you one more question before we wrap up here. Before you jump, are you listening to anything? Do you wear headphones before you compete?
I I don't, again, I don't care. I'm not like, I don't really listen to a whole lot of music. I listen to it during warm up sometimes, but it is not a like necessary thing for me because again, like I'm so amped up, they could be playing like smooth jazz and I'm like, "Ooh, whatever."
Yeah.
Like it doesn't
It's got to
matter.
match your vibe.
And I'll force it to.
Yeah.
Like it can be Katy Perry, it can be like whoever. Like it could be, oh, they were playing like Asian music or like Chinese music. I don't care. That's a bop. Like we're rocking and rolling. So, or like when I was in Africa, they were doing like African dances and like drum beats, and I'm like, this is perfect. I've never heard this in my life.
Hey, that's an amazing trait because the different environments that you compete at are all going to be different and you're going to have to work with it and you're going to still have to get gold in whatever is thrown at you. So that was the right answer regardless. So I love that. But Claire, seriously, like this was such a fun conversation for me. I am so excited to cheer you on, and everybody needs to be cheering Claire Bryant on in all things long jump and beyond long jump as well, just in life. And so cool to just watch you and see your career.
Thanks so much. I appreciate coming on here. It's been great to talk about Jesus and filing cabinets and music.
Yes, a new edition. Stay tuned for new edition in Claire's in Claire's new
Right.
realm.